In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 4 of Andor, titled Aldhani. Now, this episode starts off where episode 3 left off. We have Luthen trying to convince Andor to join his team. What that team is, we don't know. And the interesting thing about this episode, we finally get Mon Mothma back, and the same actress portrays her. And it's absolutely amazing, and I do want to say, this show is very different than what you usually expect from a Star Wars movie. No stormtroopers, no Jedi, no Sith. Maybe some mention here and there of it, but not really full force and, like in your face. This is a laid back, very well written Star Wars show. Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen is great. And Diego Luna as Cassian Andor is amazing. And the way episode 3 was high stakes, high action, and, it's just in your face. We get to the planet of Coruscant, and it's absolutely breathtaking. The directing, the visual effects are one of the best, in my opinion, in this show, and probably any Star Wars show for that matter. Because we know how The Mandalorian looks, we know how Boba Fett looked, and we know how the movies look, but this, Andor, very much different than what you usually expect in a Star Wars show or movie for that matter. This entire series takes place 5 years before the events of the entire original trilogy. And of course, you know how everything happens. There is another season coming, and that final season, the second season, will lead into Rogue One, which then we know Rogue One leads into Episode 4, A New Hope. Now, we know Mothma is a really big political figure in the Star Wars universe, but we don't know how big she was up until now. The aspects of Rael and Luthen, excuse me, for that matter, and how he tries to, and him and Mothma are just doing their own thing, and it's just an interesting show for that matter. And I absolutely love how everything's happening. It's a big cast, and it's the whole Rebel Alliance, what's going on. I don't like how the flashbacks are because they just throw it in there sometimes, and I get confused. I don't know if anybody else gets confused about what's happening. But it's really well done and it's good. I mean, 12 episode first season, what are you gonna do? It's done well, it's navigated well, and seeing the aspects of when you enter these certain worlds, and it's just breathtaking and mind-blowing. I mean, we get a brief appearance by Mothma in the movies, but then, hypothetically, she hasn't been in the universe for a long time, and seeing her on the small screen was really good. She has a plan to do certain things. We know what those plans are for the future, and she just wants to get everything done. This is basically her story now. That's what I want to say. I mean, even though it's Andor, the title of it, but I feel like Mothma really knows what she's doing, and you thought like certain political figures in this world weren't as powerful as Palpatine. Well, that's Mothma for you. This is great. I love the aspect of the show. The first two episodes were a slow burn for me. It took a while to get into it and everything, but once episode 2 ended and an episode 3 happened, holy shnikes, we just went off in the running, and episode 4 really delivered because then we got even more things coming. It's going to be a great season, I feel like, and I'm actually pretty impressed of how this show is going and now and how it has planned out. Now, we know that Tony Gilroy wrote the first 3 episodes of this season, and episodes 4, 5, and 6 are actually written by his brother, Dan Gilroy. So the dialogue is there. It's immensely beautiful and it flows so well, and the way the actors deliver it, it's absolutely crazy, and I absolutely love it. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 4 of Andor. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the aspects of what's going to happen in this season? And even though you know there's a season 2 coming, and you know how all the stories, play into one another and how everything works, do you think that's a good idea of how they're doing things? And, who do you think is the big villain in this season? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked, and I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 5 review of Andor.